It protects us from the geopolitical issues that happen with drilling offshore or in foreign countries. You can see, I don't know if I can get there, but the Utica obviously overlaps the Marcellus. They slightly changed that icon to be kind of a Neapolitan ice cream kind of look, because the Utica is unique in that there are different stages to it, as we talked about. You have a dry gas, a wet gas, and an oil play. And that kind of transitions from the eastern edge to the western edge. Again, we talked about that earlier, so I won't spend too much time in that regard. This is a blow-up of Ohio. And again, this is a popular illustration that you probably are all familiar with. On the easternmost edge, the pink or the salmon color represents the dry gas window. The yellow or gold color represents the wet gas window, and the green represents the oil window. Chesapeake's acreage primarily lies in this region right here. We have about 1.4 million net acres leased in Ohio. We are the #1 leaseholder in Ohio right now. And the focus of our operations is certainly right here in Sharpsville County and the immediate neighboring counties. In the morning sessions, we talk a lot about, many of you are maybe not directly in the oil and gas industry. We talk a lot about the importance of educating yourself on the industry, starting to speak our language, starting to recognize the terms. And this is one area that I think when I have conversations with people, to understand this is really going to help you fit into where you fit in the supply chain. Speaking specifically for Chesapeake, there's a lot of different stages of our operation. Each one of these stages has unique needs, supply chain resources that are required, a different skill set of vendors, a different skill set of employees that we need. I think understanding these are important is an important step in letting you guys identify where you can fit into the supply chain. It starts out, and we're right in this area here. We're still early in the exploratory stage. You start out with the leasing. Once you have the acreage leased, you move on to site development, then to site construction, drilling, completion, production, transportation, the building of compressor stations and oil terminals, pipeline construction, obviously royalty payments, and the reclamation of these sites. This whole process spans a tremendous amount of time, from the exploratory stage to the drilling stage, completion, production. We talked about these wells producing for decades into the future. Many of the jobs, many of your fits, many of your roles in the supply chain. Dave, I think, asked a question about when's it going to get crazy around here. As I said, some of the county recorder's offices have been crazy for the past year. When it starts ramping up and the rig count start increasing, not just with Chesapeake, but with other operators, you're going to see all of these areas start to ramp up and have their own unique time period of craziness, if you will. Talk a little bit about the environment, some about the industry, and some specifically the Chesapeake. This is a good slide, I think, illustrates one of the benefits of natural gas and the technology enhancements that we've done to our industry with horizontal production. This slide talks about the environmental footprint of generating power for a town of 100,000 people for 1 year. And you can see, once the well is constructed, completed, produced, reclaimed, the producing wells, typically for 20 onshore gas wells, will take up an environmental footprint of about 8 acres. When you look at the other sources of energy, and you compare that to the same amount of power to be generated for 100,000 people will be about 1/30 of a nuclear plant. 1/30 of that of our acreage represents 12 acres for a nuclear plant. Wind turbines, solar panels, all very viable sources of energy. But the environmental footprint of that is significant. That's why we're a big believer in what we do. It's why we're here. We believe this is one of the most environmentally friendly sources of energy out there. We need all of these. We need to research and advance in all of these areas. And the advancements in our drilling operations and our industry have led us to be a very environmentally friendly, environmental stewards of the industry.